Hey guys, this is a bit of a behind the scenes look at my last show with Cricket at the USET headquarters in Gladstone. Cricket and I were attempting to earn our final scores towards the USTA All Breed Award program, so we went to this show with a couple of our other standardbred friends. I live the closest to the showground, so I got in first and set up the stabling. This was the night before the show starts, so we had some time to do ring familiarization and get the horses settled in. The stabling at the USET headquarters is absolutely beautiful, but I did find it to be a little impractical for a summer show because you're not allowed to hang anything and there's not a lot of outlets, so it was really hard to get a fan on the horses. And it was actually pretty hot this week. So once we got everyone settled in the stabling, we actually went out to do some ring familiarization with the horses. I actually had a pretty rough time in the ring familiarization. I've been having a lot of trouble with the quality of Cricket's canter this season, and it was just exceptionally bad on this day, and I felt like he was being kind of braced against me and not very supple in the entire ride. So I actually left the ring familiarization feeling very worried about my rides the next day. I did everything I could to try to soften him and really push him forward into the canter while sitting him back, which are things that usually work for him, but I just wasn't feeling very optimistic. So once we finished up with ring familiarization, we gave all the horses a bath, and because JB had an early ride time the next morning, we did his braids. So before we head back for the night, we take care of the horses one last time, we muck out their stalls, we sweep out the aisle, and true to form, I am walking in circles in the tack stall trying to figure out where I left my car keys. So the next morning we get back and it's showtime. And because it's me, Kelly, and Helen all showing together with our 3 standardbreds, but Helen broke her hand, so Kelly was catch riding, and we were all just trying to work together to get as much work done as we could. So Helen would fill up the water buckets, I was doing the braiding for everyone, and Kelly was cleaning all of the tack. Cricket had the latest ride times of the day, so I braided him last, and of course afterwards he needed a little snooze because that's exhausting. So he took a nap, and then a little while later, I got him tacked up and we headed down for the warm-up for our first ride. On this day, Cricket was feeling so much better than he did the day before. He was a little bit more in front of my leg, he was softer and more supple in the connection, and I just had a much easier time riding him. So I'd given myself maybe a little bit too much time in the warm-up, but that was okay. Once I felt like I got him soft and listening, I just kind of walked around for a little bit. And then when it was our time, we walked up the big hill and we went into the ring. Once we get into the ring, I do a lot of walk-trot transitions with Cricket, just trying to make sure that he remembers to stay in front of my leg. Then it was just waiting for the judge to ring the bell, and then we went into the ring. So overall, I thought this was actually a pretty nice test. I was pretty pleasantly surprised from the day before, but it did start off on a really rocky note. Out of my first halt and salute, I tried to pick up the trot, and Cricket actually paced out of it. Fortunately, I just wanted to get it trotting again before the next movement, and the judge didn't mark it super harshly, so that was very lucky for us. So this first test was training 1, and aside from that first mistake into the first trot transition, I was really pleased with Cricket. I thought it went really well, especially considering how poorly things had gone the day before. So he was able to canter in both directions. It wasn't his best canter he's ever done, but it was solid. It was mostly 3-beat. Considering how much better it had been from the day before, I couldn't really complain. And then he was really solid through all of the walk and trot work. So this ended up being a qualifying score for the All Breeds Award. And I guess spoiler alert for the rest of the vlog, actually all of my scores ended up qualifying for the All Breeds Award. So shortly afterwards, I head back into the ring for my training 3 ride of the day. I stuck with my same strategy in the warm-up, trying to keep Cricket a little bit forward and in front of the leg. When he's a bit more quick off the aids, he doesn't tend to pace as much, and that was kind of my strategy for fixing the pacing out of the first halt. So this was another really good test for Cricket. I actually thought his right lead canter was probably the best in this test that it was all weekend. In a couple of my previous shows, I had gotten some comments from the judges about the geometric inaccuracy of my serpentines. So in this test, I was really focused on riding them a little bit more accurately. So I was pretty happy with the score on this one. It was not only qualifying for the All Breeds Award program, but it was also the final qualifying score Cricket needed to go to regionals. I'm probably not going to take him to regionals, but it's nice that he qualified. So the final day of the show was probably the most hectic. I added a third test. I normally would only do 2 at a show, but I really wanted to get my qualifying score for the All Breeds Award, and I figured Cricket would rather just do 3 rides in a day than come back and do another show. So once again, all 3 of his tests were actually pretty solid. There's pretty limited footage of these just because we were all kind of running around and riding at the same time on this day. I was really happy with him because he had such a rough start to the show, and he really pulled it together as soon as we got into the ring every time. So once he finished his final ride of the day, we went back in, we cleared out the stalls, and we packed everything up and we headed home. Cricket was so happy to be back. He stopped and dropped and rolled as soon as we made it into the Stone Dust paddock. Once I got him inside, I pulled out all of his braids, and then I made sure to give him a couple of extra cookies, and then I left him alone as a thank you for all of the hard work he put in for me this weekend. So thanks for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and for more show vlogs and other videos with my standardbreds and thoroughbreds, be sure to subscribe.